Racing has always been about pushing limits, no matter who or what is holding the wheel.
Abu Dhabi Autonomous Racing League is a test bed, the best test bed there can possibly be in the world, which is motorsport.
It is still motorsport, but there's a different angle to this one.
There's no driver. Yeah.
This isn't science fiction, it's a race with no drivers.
And that makes it even more exciting.
Driving at 300 kilometers per hour autonomously is something that is not normal. And I like everything that is not normal.
It's scary, we can touch the wall, we can hit the wall very hard, we can destroy the car.
It's really an incredible feeling to see the car going that fast.
This year we had an autonomous car beat our human benchmark for the first time. It was expected, but not this soon.
A2Rl is the most exciting international tech competition where innovation meets the racetrack.
This is all about pushing the limits of technology and AI and testing it in a really fast race car, twisting its way around a circuit, being powered by some of the brightest minds from across the world.
The car is a development from an SF23 Super Formula car, chassis by Dallara, engine by Honda, produces around 500 horsepower from a four-cylinder turbocharged engine.
Same cars, same hardware, but entirely different minds driving the cars.
The car is the same, engine, mechanics, absolutely the same. The teams, what they do is they code the pilot.
The only thing that those teams can touch is the code that controls it all. That's really what this game is all about.
The driver is an AI that is powered by people in the back of the garage, but once they click go and that car heads out of the garage and onto the track, they are no longer in control. It is all up to the code that's all been pre-planned and put into that car.
These are machines or robots that are able to take their own decisions based on the conditions around them, based on the circumstance around them. So yes, they do have, whether you want to call it intelligence or not, they do have a sense of ability to make decisions based on the circumstances.
The engineers behind the scenes are betting everything on the code.
Lots of numbers, all in a long line, that have been come up with by creative geniuses in technical fields from some of the best universities, the best institutions that have all decided to come here and race against each other to find who's better at coding.
If I had the opportunity to sit with toy cars and play with those on a train set to learn my autonomous coding, or play with a 500 horsepower Super Formula car, I think I'd pick this.
This is where the most creative and most clever students from across the globe meet to compete on a technical level.
It's not just about building the code, it's about building the future of autonomous mobility.
Abu Dhabi and UAE at the moment seems to be the epicenter of autonomous robotics and many other activities. And I think having an activity like this really engages the community, engages the research institutes, and engages many players to really test autonomous to its extreme. So no better platform than the Formula One track.
This race is going to be won by building the best algorithm possible.
It's true that every team shapes their algorithms and therefore how it reflects the personality of the team.
Those are machines, but who writes the algorithm puts a little bit of their soul in each machine.
We can see the character of the teams similar to the Formula One drivers, right? You will have the one who's going to be always aggressive, end up having an incident, the one who are very consistent, and make the results, the ones that are able to come with a moment of fantasy and create something unique.
And what I think is that if you let the people know the team that is behind the car, the team that is behind the algorithm, it's gonna fill the gap that maybe some people feel right now, because there are still humans behind the technology.
Engagement with the teams is quite impressive in terms of what they know, and also mostly in terms of their age range. I mean, so many of these teams are either currently students or have just graduated from the colleges or institutions which are entering cars in the event. It's a Gen Z competition, this.
As part of A2Rl, and this is the second season, we started with the competition for the guys at school where they're having the remote control cars driven autonomously. So we are seeing amazing kids that got trained very little, basic training, and they're able to start programming autonomous small control cars to be driven. They will move down the line eventually. Now maybe we'll do it on go-kart style, and they'll come to here. So I think engaging at different levels, from students to entrepreneurs, to guys that just have a passion to this, and giving them a platform to start seeing what they can do and how they can push the limit, I think will really expand what can happen.
Each team has an avatar, which is actually representing, and I feel very well representing the culture, the spirit, and the approach of the team. Some are a little more aggressive, some are more conservative.
There is still that humanity that drip feeds itself from the back of the engineering room into the AI machine, because we have countries represented across the globe that have come here, different philosophies, different engineering styles. That all gets fed in. Who's willing to take more risk with their code? Who wants to be a little bit more settled, a little bit more relaxed, more cautious?
Part of what we built with Maverick was to give those digital avatars a voice, because we know that the experience of fans is driven by their relationship with the human driver. The heroes and the villains on the racetrack, and that's what creates the excitement, that's what creates the competition between fans and the drivers they support. So we knew long term for autonomous racing to be successful that the drivers would have to have a personality, and that would want to be a personality that the fans could interact with directly. So the vision is that as well as experiencing the race in the VR helmet live on the track, that those fans would also be able to have a conversation, with the AI.
This is the vehicle modified, the Emirates Autonomous Vehicle 25, one of the fastest single-seater race cars in the world, equipped with LiDAR, with radar, 7 cameras, 3 radar systems, 3 LiDAR systems. You got that front GPS as well, the central GPS just sitting on the top of the roll hoop with those 7 cameras, making sure that code that is all plugged in and powered by the teams goes straight into an incredibly high-performance computer located where the driver would normally sit in that stack, Alexander.
It looks like the series has taken a big jump forward in comparison to last year in terms of pure pace. We'll see on final day, but the times that we're seeing so far are sort of approaching less than a second away from what a human driver appears to be doing at the moment.
Au-dessus, il y a 13 types de sensors qui sont utilisés pour tout ce qui sert pour la machine à avoir les mêmes impressions et informations qu'un humain. Donc on se retrouve avec une machine qui comprend ce qui se passe autour, qui comprend les distances, qui comprend la rapidité, qui comprend s'il y a une voiture qui lui vient derrière ou pas.
We we are about to witness our human versus AI showcase. The ex-Formula One driver versus Team TUM. The man with 110 Formula One starts to his name. 2 Le Mans 24 Hours starts too against the reigning Season 1 A2Rl champions.
First days when we started working on it, it was quite far off. It was very hard to get going, but then eventually it just got better and better, and now we are already talking about some very serious technology.
Last year the cars have been off around 10 seconds compared to the human being, and this year we expect a very close battle and a chase between both cars.
Last year the event here in Abu Dhabi was quite easy for me to play with the car in a way, because the gap was maybe 10 seconds a lap, which was quite a lot. Now it's coming to maybe some tenths of a second, 6, 7 tenths a lap, and you know, it's quite impressive.
Ist ja jetzt nur gegen den, also Human gegen AI. Mal schauen, es wird ein enges Rennen. Wir geben natürlich unser Bestes, aber wer weiß das. Die Bedingungen haben sich jetzt nochmal geändert seit heute Morgen, ist uns aufgefallen in der Software auch. Und das gibt natürlich wieder eine gewisse Unsicherheit, aber das ist halt Racing. Also man weiß nie genau, was der Outcome ist, und deswegen macht es halt auch so viel Spaß. Ja. Also ich bin optimistisch, aber sanft optimistisch. Schauen wir mal.
I think the racetrack is like a very great playground, you know. You can test out things, you can really progress fast, you can make features, and you can improve next time.
The showcase is on. It is human versus AI. Team TUM with a 10-second advantage. The task, the experiment for Danny Kvyat, the racing driver behind. Can he chase down Team TUM within 10 laps?
Ab jetzt geht's los.
This is an AI-powered car. Team TUM, they can work so much on the code. That is their blood, sweat and tears. That's the humanity. They've created this code and how they want to go racing. But once that car leaves the pit lane, it's all on its own.
Ja, ich glaube, er hat vielleicht einen Platten hinten rechts. Also er hat Tire Pressure Rear Right Alert gerade bei ihm. Schaut mal. Sie schauen mal, ob sie ihn boxen müssen.
The AI is improving, the AI is learning from the current conditions of the car, it's understanding the limits of the car. It started with over a minute and it was down by 5 tenths and 2 tenths, between 2 and 5 tenths every lap. So the car's just getting quicker. On the other side, Daniel, he's driving on the max already since lap 1. Maybe he's starting to doing mistakes, right? The AI won't do any mistakes. So the AI is stable, the AI is learning, improving. And Daniel's just lifting off a little bit just to make sure he can maybe punch back at the end of the chase.
And this is no ordinary driver either. Danny Kvyat, who has raced at the pinnacle of motorsport in Formula One, has raced at the 24 Hour of Le Mans in the Ultimate Sports Car Racing Series. This is an all-out chase to catch one of the best autonomous racing teams in the world. Get your cameras out. This is something special to behold as we start the final lap. Our autonomous racing car leading our human-powered race car. The fastest cars outside of Formula One machinery. Danny Kvyat, a man who stood on the podium in Formula One, 110 Grand Prix starts, chasing down Team TUM. Just the final corner to go. And at the end of this chase, the gap just under a second. Kvyat gets 7 tenths of a second between himself and the AI car from Team TUM, the reigning champions. It's a testament to the technology and the work that has been done and the huge advances we have made over the last 24 months and what this can do, given another year, given another month, and how this can help us in our lives.
What was a science fiction one day is now slowly becoming reality, and I'm so excited to be part of it because I was in this project since day one, and yeah, it was fantastic. The gap from 10 seconds last year is coming to like barely 1 second this year. It's impressive, you know, and who knows where is the limit.
I was here last year for the first ever iteration of A2Rl, and it was cool and exciting then to see a car turning left and right round the track, and then almost that later registering of, oh, hang on, but there isn't a driver in that car. Fast forward another year and a bit, and the speeds have increased. The technology is the most advanced we'll see in the entire world, all here in Yas Marina. That's what's really exciting, and that's what almost gets the juices flowing for this one, because it's something I'm not used to, it's something I'm excited by, and it can have a real-world impact. I think that is the crucial factor here.
The team that participated to the first race, their objective was to try not to crash the car, and eventually try to go at a good speed. This year we already see that we moved from 3 very strong teams to 5 to 6 teams out of 11 that are actually competitive. They are all in this 2-3 second difference, which is amazing.
I was not expecting that the autonomous car could go so fast.
You're getting to the stage where you watch the cars drive and you forget that they're driving themselves. You have to just remind yourself that that is all happening by itself.
I won't be surprised that a few years from now, maybe in a couple of years, an autonomous car will be as good as a human car. And then you will look at this world in a different perspective.
I think A2Rl, the Abu Dhabi Autonomous Racing League, is there to really push the boundaries on what can happen in autonomy, really get to improve what we think, how autonomous systems are reliable and how autonomous system can perform in extreme conditions. I mean, if cars can race safely at extreme speeds in Formula One, then they can do a pretty good job in driving in normal streets. Although sometimes with next to other drivers, I'm not sure, but at least this really pushes the boundary, this really pushes where comfort levels are, and I think it contributes to really the evolution of what's happening when it comes to autonomy and mobility.
We have a unique system. We have a council that is being chaired by Sheikh Hamdan, and His Highness is pushing us a lot as team from all entities that are related to this business. We need to make it successful. Our government gave us the opportunity to be more agile in terms of legislations, governance of mobility, and governance also to this industry. So we are working with the industry in a collaborative way, not in a controlled way. I think it is giving us the privilege to be part of shaping the mobility in the world.
The freedom that we are enjoying here in the Middle East is actually, before we start in Europe, we do regulation of technology. Here's the other way around. We can start with technology, we can start advancing, like exploiting the limits, and then we look into regulations.
A2Rl is about 3 things: trust, trust, and trust. What we're trying to do is to make people feel comfortable about autonomy. Autonomy will be something very difficult to accept going forward. We are demonstrating the world, the general public, that autonomy is real, and autonomy will be in everything we do when it comes to mobility in the future.
So 11 teams actually signed up for the second season of A2Rl this year, and those 11 teams, they had to pass systems and performance tests. They had to make sure they can bring everything it needs, and they manage with the expectation and requirements of this highly stressful environment. Out of the 11 teams, 7 teams made the cut, 7 teams made it, and then went on into sprint races, into qualifying races, to really find out who are the 6 teams, who are the 6 AI cars that can perform the best and on the limits of artificial intelligence here. And I'm glad to see we have the 6 teams that you've mentioned, from TUM to Constructor, racing today for the grand final.
season was about surviving on the track. This season, for the top teams, it's about winning.
So this is where A2Rl is pioneering the field of racing, technology and sports effectively. We have a multi-car race. For the first time in history, 6 autonomous cars are racing on the track, competing. They're going head-to-head into corners and are challenging each other.
The hardest part isn't just making the car fast. It's teaching it to survive alongside other cars, to calculate, to trust and to survive in the chaos.
Multi-car is a whole new dimension. We have lots of different things. The teams have lots more data to take into consideration.
So the top 6 fastest teams will race it out over 20 laps in this grand finale. It'll be a rolling start as well for all the cars accelerating together. But there will be track limits and they will be monitored by race control. The cars must stay within the white lines at all times. And we expect and hope to see some wheel-to-wheel racing. So only one change of direction is allowed when defending and when attacking, which will be incredible to see these AI cars at it. And the same goes for contact. No contact permitted. The green light is on and A2Rl Season 2 well and truly underway. The grand finale is on, led by Team Tum, who head into Turn 1, being rapidly chased by Unimore, and then comes a little bit of a gap back to Kinetis, TII Racing, Polymove and Constructor. A little further back, 6 cars in this race, 20 laps of racing ahead of us.
Yeah, it's these 2 cars, isn't it, that we've seen really quick throughout the whole of the free practice, throughout the whole of the qualifying process, Unimore and Tum, and I would say that was a relatively aggressive start from Unimore in comparison to what we've seen through the week so far. They jump forward towards the rear of Team Tum and are actually stalking them down that back straight. 0.8 of a second the gap on this first lap, and you can see what it means to them in the pit lane, and they can do absolutely nothing about the race which is panning out.
They have worked for months, for years really, on the code that gets implemented into the computer stack that sits where the driver would normally be in your typical Formula motorsport vehicle. And now the engineers and everyone working in the garage has to sit and watch. You can see them in the side of picture. One of the main overtaking points will be at the end of this back straight, and I just wonder if we might get a little look. There's a switch. We're going side by side in autonomous racing. Unimore to the inside, overtaking Team Tum. Team Tum has to back out of it. That was sensational.
Tum looked slightly to defend towards the inside, then committed to the racing line. Unimore braking slightly later, brake discs aglow, takes the position. Tum spots it, a head look, and has to get right out of the throttle through the exit. There we go, AI overtake on lap 2.
On the second lap time, we could have the push to pass, why they didn't have it. So we had a boost on the straight that translated into being able to go on the side before the turn 6 and going into the inside. We simulated a lot, and so we hoped, I mean, it was a dream to see it also in real life, and it happened. So we have to be proud of what we did.
A car that can overtake at 250 kilometres on its own changes everything about the cars that we'll trust our families with tomorrow.
See the decision-making process of the AI. It really takes it. Every decision, every corner, every overtake, or the overtake that we have seen is followed and executed by a decision-making process.
fascinating. After being overtaken, Team TUM is right back on the rear end of Unimore as we come around the final corner, and we'll head on to lap 8. So this is the main fight we're watching. It is the battle for the win here at this grand finale of the Abu Dhabi Autonomous Racing League 2025.
Okay, sobald wir wieder auf Constructor aufschließen, werden die gepittet. Das heißt,
half a second just creeps up to nearly a second again as we start lap 11. We are now over the halfway point, and there is less than a second, but it's ebbing and flowing between the battle for the win here. Constructor lagging behind. They have gone a lap down.
Look, this is the lappery that we were looking at.
And then we've got contact into the wall. We had a lapped car involved as well, and we've got contact here in A2Rl as we started lap 1, heading into turn 1. Team TUM has been able to come out of that one unscathed.
Però era funzionale, non poteva superare. Non poteva superare.
Probabilmente non sono schivato. Noi abbiamo frenato molto
Morto perché eravamo 21, ci dobbiamo fermare. Cioè loro sì, doveva essere il contrario, se eravamo noi in sim che superavamo gli altri, invece sono superato loro. Se non avessimo superato TUM eravamo probabilmente ok.
See it trying to make the decision, and the TUM car, with so much more time actually as a result of being behind to make the call, manages to duck. The consequences are very big. I mean, in terms of damage, in terms of potential loss, there's a big prize pot available as well for teams who are successful in the championship.
We were showing an excellent performance. We overtook in the first lap. We were keeping our position with a constant gap. The car was looking completely fine. Was amazing. It seemed like a perfect race until that moment.
We'll have a red flag out on track because that is obviously quite a bit of car to collect, and these systems as well can prove very technologically advanced and tricky sometimes to extract. But Alexander, I mean, your reaction to that?
I mean, you see there's so much passion behind the teams are with their cars. They actually, that's their whole project of the year. They spend so much energy, so much passion into getting these cars so competitive on the track, and actually delivering such a show to us today, which is more than unexpected to me. Actually, I was hoping for a good show, but actually that's impressive today. And whilst this is very sad for the team, obviously it's a big takeaway for safety systems. We can learn a lot from this now.
You know, while bouncing up and down the pit lane, getting the lay of the land out here, you chat to the teams, and the overriding thought from everyone was, we'd love to see 6 cars across the line at, you know, having had a good race and collected loads of data. You've got to remember that this is as much science as it is motorsport. You know, all of these teams want to see these cars gather all of the data that they can possibly get and finish this race, even if they weren't necessarily the ones to take home the trophy at the end of the day. So I think in general, the teams up and down the pit will be sad to see that play out in the way it did. But we had a great race.
Okay, constructor will remove, then resume race. Okay.
Team TUM leads with this team now, Canetis, up into second.
Yeah, it looks like, is it the constructor car still out there on the right-hand side in the runoff area? I saw a flashing light out there, which is why we might be still under full course yellow. Canetis, the Singaporean and UAE collaboration, finds its way to second position as a result of that little snafu between the constructor car and the Unimore car, and they'll look to continue on. Also still out there, the Polymove machine, the other Italian car in the race.
Got a spin, it's Kinetis, who had worked their way up into second. That's Kinetis, who found themselves facing the wrong way. That looks like it's out of turn 5 as you come on to that long back straight.
It's just an unexpected place, isn't it, for these cars to be? The tyres have now gone cold again. They've had to get back going under full course yellow, and just a little bit of an error under full course yellow conditions in those circumstances for Kinetis. Let's see if they can get going again.
We were in a situation where, everybody had to come to a stop because of the incident. And obviously, with the stoppages, the tires went cold. And, when the tires went cold on a cold track, the traction is a problem. And when we make the full course yellow around the track at turn 5, so we got the green flag at a worst possible timing. Like, we were turning and we got a green flag, so we went full throttle, and the traction just wasn't enough to handle this kind of maneuver, so we spun out of control.
An unexpected avoidance, even under a full course yellow, is an amazing achievement for a team in autonomous racing, because that's not it's not the sort of thing the car's expecting to do. And so they're naturally delighted that the car has managed to respond in that way and kept them in the race. I'll be really impressed if that Kinetis car can get itself back going again.
If you can apply such algorithms in a racing environment, this can, of course, be applied also in a road environment where speeds are much, much lower.
Doing here in front of the public eye, when we have breakthroughs, we know that they're meaningful and they're transferable to on-road mobility.
But Team Turm able to reclaim that position, reclaim P1, and round the final corner will take the final lap, will take the checkered flag. Team Turm, it's back-to-back wins. Team Turm win after 20 laps here under the lights at Yas Marina circuit. With TII in second and Polymove third.
I'm sorry. No, not what you deserve. No, no guys. Okay. No guys. Good job. No, sorry, I'm sorry about that. Not what you deserve. No, but that was an awesome race.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it's a shame. You did awesome. You did awesome. I would have liked to pass you to win. If it had gone to the end, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, because we were continuously interacting, every lap was a bit different.
And I mean, we got faster each lap, right? In the end, I mean, in the end, we had your pace. We did 58.1 now with blue flags, so we would have had. I mean, it's such a shame.
I think the race was a real roller coaster of emotions, with Unimore passing us on lap 2, then us catching up again, being so close to them, being in high-risk maneuvers behind them, and then also the first lapping went everything as expected. And then unfortunately on the second lapping they had an incident. We were the lucky ones this time, but I really want to state that they did an amazing job. They would have definitely, they should have won today as well. I think what they did, or what we all did today as a competition, was really good, and I'm pretty happy in the end that we were the lucky ones. But big congrats to everybody who participated today on what we have achieved.
I think success is being seen or will be measured by how technologists that are coming out of such races, technologists by coming out of such challenges, really start seeing themselves in the field, in day-to-day lives that we interact with. Whether that is in getting your food delivered by autonomous products, whether it's the autonomous taxi that's going to drive you around, whether it's the item that will deliver maybe donor blood to someone. It's really getting the reliability up of these autonomous platforms in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, extremely thrilled that it worked out. Obviously, it's a shame for Unimore. They were a great opponent. They pushed us every day throughout testing. They did a faster lap, we did a faster lap again, and we were so looking forward to that battle. We thought the first 10 laps, it was extremely close. They overtook us, we kept pace, we kept increasing, we attempted moves, and what a shame that we couldn't see this to the end. I mean, for us, a shame, for them, the biggest shame, obviously, but also for the viewer. But apart from this, what a step forward for AI racing. I mean, compare this to last year. That was, I mean, leaps ahead. Yeah, so we're thrilled to see where it's going to go in the future and to, you know, keep interacting with teams that are as good as Unimore. And I mean, obviously the other guys as well. They did an amazing job. Teams coming with all sorts of different experiences, bringing it all together today to put on something that is really quite spectacular.
I am amazed, of course, for the result of my team, but I am amazed that in a little bit more than 12 months, we went from a race where things were very hard, the car were stopping after 1 lap and a half, and so on, and so on, and so on, to a race where we did 20 laps with overtakes, with moments of real, you know, thrill, that you could feel that the public was getting a lot of emotions as we were getting emotion in the garage. So for me, it's basically so much of a level up of this show, of this sport, that regardless of who wins or who loses today, is something that is changing, I think, for the better and for long term, how this thing will go.
And the award for Sportsman's Award goes to TII Racing. Next up, the Ascent Award, presented by Do and awarded by Mr. Fahad Al-Hassawi, CEO of Do, recognizing the team that has shown the most remarkable growth, determination, and technical prowess throughout the race weekend. And the winner is Kinetics. And finally, the Fastest Lap Award, presented by Miral and awarded by Mr. Farid Al-Kawani, Chief Commercial Officer, celebrating the team that's delivered the quickest, most precise, and most strategically executed lap of A2Rl race. And the winner is Unimore.
If you look across what all the teams have achieved till now, compared to last year, I would say that everybody has raised their level significantly in terms of competency and competitiveness. So, and the 6 car grand final that you see earlier on would never have been possible last year. It was beyond our wildest imagination.
So tonight we award the top 3 places. In 3rd place, presented by His Excellency Faisal Abdelaziz Al-Bana, to our 3rd place team, Team Polymore. Make your way through to the podium. Give them a huge round of applause to make their way there for the 3rd place here of the A2Rl Grand Finals. In 2nd place, presented by Sheikh Mohammed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. They have fought an amazing race here at A2Rl, and now in 2nd place, Team TII Racing. And in 1st place, the winners of A2Rl, presented by His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, presenting the 1st place trophy here at the iconic Yas Marina circuit. The winners of A2Rl, give it up for Team TUM!
I think we won beyond any expectations. I think we are demonstrating what we are building, how technology has progressed in just 18 months. We had a show, a motorsport race, a technology demonstration all in once, all together. I think public has enjoyed the show. I'm really sorry for Unimore that was affected, but this is motorsports. So it's drama, as you said, and we are adding another layer of complexity that is AI and autonomous driving. So I'm extremely satisfied about what we have witnessed today.
We are developing so fast, and the progress that we've done comparing to previous year is like tremendous. It's tremendous progress, and the vehicle is much more stable. The speed that we have right now is much higher. The performance that we pushed much higher.
The idea is to, with these grand challenges, is to demonstrate where technology is up to, push the thresholds of technology, but not moving from plain or only research to the application in the real world.
A2Rl today does multiple platforms. So we have this style, which is sitting in the Formula One track. We also do the autonomous racing drones, which last time some of the AI beat the top human racers in drones, which was quite interesting. We are really going to push multiple other platforms down the line when it comes to AI and robotics and how it's really interacting in different environments.
People are celebrating out on track. The atmosphere here is incredible. I wish you could be here to feel it. What an incredible race. Bit of a nail-biter, to be honest. We weren't quite expecting what unfolded out on track. But overall, it's been a huge success and a huge leap forward for the advancement of autonomous technology. Super exciting stuff here. A moment in history